Have you ever heard a sound that you just couldn't explain? Something so beautiful, so otherworldly, that it stays with you forever. This is a story about a pastor, a man named Robert, who experienced exactly that. It was the late 1940s in a small town in Canada. One chilly morning, long before the sun had even thought about rising, Pastor Robert made his way to the church. He had a big day ahead. A week of special revival services was about to begin, and he wanted to spend some time in quiet prayer to prepare his heart and mind. As he unlocked the heavy oak doors and stepped into the cavernous, silent building, a wave of cold air hit him. The only light was the faint, gray pre-dawn glow filtering through the stained glass windows. He walked down the center aisle, his footsteps echoing in the stillness. But then he stopped. He tilted his head. It wasn't silent. Faintly, almost like a memory, he could hear singing. It was a choir, Dot, and not just any choir. The harmony was perfect, the voices blending in a way he'd never heard before. It was the most beautiful, most heavenly sound he had ever encountered. It seemed to be coming from the choir loft upstairs. He thought, "That's strange, the choir isn't supposed to be here this early." But the sound was undeniable, and it was glorious. So he made his way up the creaking wooden stairs to the loft to see who had decided to hold an impromptu pre-dawn practice. He reached the top of the stairs, pushed open the door to the loft, and his breath caught in his throat. The room was completely, utterly empty. There were no singers, no people. Just rows of vacant chairs and stacks of hymn books, all sitting in the cold, dim light. He stood there, frozen, listening. The music hadn't stopped. In fact, it seemed to be all around him now, filling the entire sanctuary, vibrating through the wooden floorboards, and resonating deep within his soul. It was a choir of angels, an unseen chorus praising God in the stillness of the morning. Tears began to stream down Pastor Robert's face. He wasn't scared. He was overwhelmed with a profound sense of peace and awe. In that moment, he understood. This wasn't just a strange phenomenon. This was a promise. It was God's way of telling him, "I am here. Something powerful is about to happen. Prepare yourself." That heavenly sound filled him with a new kind of courage and faith. He knew the coming revival wouldn't be just another series of meetings. It would be a moment of true divine encounter for his entire community. And it was. The services that week were unlike any they had ever seen. The church was filled to overflowing, and lives were genuinely changed. The pastor, for the rest of his life, held on to the memory of that morning, the day he heard the choir with no singers, the day heaven gave him a preview of the glory that was to come. It was a powerful reminder that God is always at work, often in ways we can't see, preparing the way for something beautiful. This story is a testament to faith and the mysterious ways God makes His presence known. If you were moved by this message and want to hear more stories that strengthen the spirit, please consider subscribing. Let's help God's Word reach more hearts together.